Back also moving on now to municipal government. As I mentioned a moment or two ago, the Gauteng provincial government placing the city of Tshwane under administration. The provincial cabinet citing what it calls flagrant disregard for the Municipal Finance Management Act as one of the principal reasons. It says, for instance, this was exemplified by the irregular award of tenders to Glad Africa and Oricon. It also mentions irregular expenditure of around 6.9 billion rand and irregular appointments of senior managers as influencing its decision. Well, let's discuss this further now with the Chief Director of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs here in Gauteng, Nawa. Good evening to you and welcome. We also read that the administrative and service delivery challenges in Tshwane significantly compromised the Metro's ability to function, resulting in the government's intervention. I'm curious to know as to how the city got itself into this mess. What's your view on that?
Well, I think the problem from 2016, there has been problems of literally getting the professional administration. You would remember there was a cloud over the density manager, and since then there's been a series of people who have been pulled out because of their qualifications. So that affects the better functioning of a municipality or a city.
You've got to ask yourself the question then as to why action wasn't taken earlier. And this is outrageous, isn't it?
Well, I think there's been action. You would remember that then there was an activation that the municipal manager city manager must go. There was almost everybody who was found on the wrong side of the law was released, including the recent one of the emergency executive manager who was also found unqualified.
Let me rephrase the question then. Perhaps the action taken wasn't strong enough because while all of this was happening, we still had irregular expenditure of close to 7 billion rand. Imagine what could have been done with that money.
Well, truly, I suppose one of the things that this activation of the MEC to start an application of 139 is precisely that. You would remember that the 154 of the Constitution allows the MEC to support, and I think there's been an attempt in a couple of times to provide support to the city. And I think it came to a point where the MEC thought it's important to activate 139.1, which is more about directives, beginning to set up teams and process to further help, because that section of the law is about the restorative justice to get the municipality to function well.
So it then begs the question, it's been announced, but then the minister, the provincial legislature, the National Council of Provinces, is all of this then going to be, is this intervention approved, in other words? Can the process of administration now proceed? Well,
the executive committee of the provincial government said today to approve it, and the MEC since then has informed the NCOP, the minister, and the municipality itself that is going to engage into the application of 139.
So it's a fait accompli, in other words.
It's going to happen. Because the executive has actually...
What then, for the people of Tshwane who are watching us tonight, what does it mean for them? Will it smooth passage? Will it clean the mess up?
Well, that's the purpose of it. As I said, it's about the restoration. The one issue that I thought is important to indicate is that it does not mean dissolution of the municipality. It's still about support. You remember 139 has A, B, and C. And subsection C is the one that dissolves the city. So the MEC has not reached that stage. It's still about still rebuilding and see to it that the municipality. So it's going to give instruction and direction to the city to see what can be done to help it. So,
how do you compel the city to follow those instructions, though?
Well, by virtue that you have applied this section of the law, it means you have all the necessary enforcement to put it. And because the 139 is not about the facilitation, which is the MEC, it's about also the other sectors of government to be part of the process. And that's why he will bring in the national government department to help resolve the problem.
How long do you think this process will take before the city is righted?
Well, section 139.1, you have 3 months to 6 months to begin to put the teams and ensure that the municipality responds. And over a year, if it comes and nothing is happening, it will end up going to C, which I think is not the intention of the MEC to arrive at that point.
Do you think, final question to you, this is precedent setting? Tshwane, for instance, do you think it is more dysfunctional than maybe Mfuleni and Rand West, which have also had similar problems? Now that this has happened with Tshwane, is this likely to happen elsewhere?
Well,
or should it happen elsewhere?
Yeah, the president has been Mfuleni. You remember the first city to be put there was Mfuleni, and then West Rand followed because of the VBS story, and then there's a story about Tshwane, which is non-functional. So my sense is that the MEC, since he assumed this responsibility of being an MEC of local government or cooperative governance, is more to say, let's get municipalities in Gauteng to function, and nobody, which party you are, the MEC wants to get the municipalities to come back to function better.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.